This Sunday, Pastor Bell connects the coronavirus to Psalms 91.
Now let's go over here to the book of Psalms, chapter number 91. Psalms, chapter number 91. And I just want to go in there and just kind of remind you, since we are believers, and we're wise believers, amen, we're cautious, we just don't operate in fear. And that's what we don't do. So let's go over here and see what happened. Psalms chapter number 90. Let me see here. And I have another Bible up here called the Voice Bible, so I may bounce between the two. But look at what it says here in Psalms chapter number 91. It says, number 1, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This other version says, he who takes refuge in the shelter of the Most High will be safe in the shadow of the Almighty. Psalms 91 is talking about an experience that David had. And I don't know if we're going to have enough time, but I want to actually go back and I want to share one of David's experiences. This is not the first time a plague has hit the earth. Yeah, it may be the first time in your lifespan, but it's not the first time this has happened. In other words, what I'm saying is that God has been to this rodeo so many times, and he is not shaken by this rodeo. He is not. He done seen it, been through it, got the bumper sticker, all that, the t-shirt, everything. It's new to us, but old to God. All right? This is why it's so important to get into your word and know scripture so that you'll know that, Lord, you've been through this before and you brought your people out before and you did this before. I'm no different. I got a covenant with you and you're going to do the same thing because you changed not. You're going to bring me out. You're going to help me get through it. I'm going to take you as my refuge. Because what we're doing is taking, and don't get me wrong. We're taking hand sanitizer as our refuge. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're taking refuge in hand sanitizer. But the Bible says that David took refuge in his God. Now, I'm not dismissing hand sanitizer because that comes along with your caution. But you don't want to put your faith in that when you got a big God that you can put your faith in that can do more than kill some germs. He can deliver you from sin. He can stop you from backbiting. He can cause you to endure whatever the things that you're going through. Our God is able to do more than hand sanitizer. Anybody in agreement with me? Okay. All right, that's good. We're on a good start. Let's put our trust and refuge in God in the midst of all of this. I'm not saying exclude that. I'm saying let this be the prominent factor. The other is, by the way, I would do this. Verse number 2. I'm going to read it from this other translation. He will say to the eternal, talking about the one who puts their trust in God or make God the refuge. He will say to the eternal, my shelter and my mighty fortress, my God. So when he's referring to God, he's saying, my shelter, my mighty fortress. Shelter is for the purpose of protecting. God is our protector. And God is our fortress. He is our defense mechanism. If it can get through the blood, if it can get through the blood, if it can get through God, if it can, and we know with a surety it can't get through the blood. They used to sing a song, the blood will prevail. I don't care what comes against the blood is going to prevail. Everybody in here know how to plead the blood, right? Okay. Everybody did everybody get some anointing oil when we were consecrating it on, in January? Okay, it's time to pull it out. Yeah, I know it don't have the alcohol in it and don't have all those other ingredients like the hand sanitizer, but pull out the oil because it represents the blood. And the blood will cover. It's your faith. He will cover. He says, you're going to be called my God. I place all my trust in you. All my trust in you, not this other stuff. For he will rescue you from the snares set by your enemies, who entrap you from deadly plagues. All right? King James Version may say pestilence, but this version says it's a straight up plague. That God will protect you from the plague when it shows up, because you're saying that he's my fortress, he's my protector, and I take my refuge in him, and I abide in his shadow. You see, when certain things see the shadow, they know the presence is there. And the presence can do more than the shadow. And that's our God. He can do more. If his shadow frightens them, wait till he gets on the scene for real. He's going to do something awesome, because that's the God that we serve. It says, like a bird protecting its young, God will cover you with his feathers. Will protect you under his great wings. His faithfulness will be form a shield around you, a rock solid wall to protect you. And once again, I will say this, that if you have been attacked by fear because of all this, then you want to get into this Psalms and read it over and over and over and over until you're not afraid anymore. That now you're trusting and you're believing. You see, in a lot of cases, things happen in our lives to flush out what's on the inside that we don't know that's there. You could have been saying, oh, I don't fear. I don't have no fear. I've been operating in faith, for the last 15 years. I'm not afraid of nothing. But with this coming up, if fear has come up and out of you by your behavior or your talk, then it's not that it actually came, because of that. It was already there. This just flushed it out. It's just like, some folks want to have a lot of money. You don't know who you are until you get a lot of money. Because a lot of money will flush out who you really are. If you're really stingy, really mean, and you're really manipulative, just get a lot of money and it'll show up. In other words, what I'm saying, there are things that happen to us in life. We have to look at it from different perspectives. Sometimes things happen to flush out what's on the inside. God only wants it to come out on the outside so you can see it. He already seen it. But then when you see it, then come to him with it so that he can get rid of it. And then now you're clean on the inside because you've been flushed out of whatever he doesn't want in your life. So once again, don't just listen to what the news is saying. There's more to the news than the news. They told me that this was good news. And that's what we want to deliver to you. We want to give you a real good deposit of good news to combat that other news that they gave you. so you can walk strong, so that you can continue to believe God. Trust me, the devil is not going to stop working because of a virus. He's still going to try to do different things in your life and try to get you in different places and spaces in your mind. He's going to still do all that. And so we got to keep using our faith to retard the work of the devil and keep believing God. I mean, we got projects at stake. We got some stuff that, listen, we're still going to have projects manifested in spite of what is happening in society. Turn to his neighbor, just tell him one more time, if you're not afraid to look at him, talk to him, tell him, keep it moving. If you just keep it moving, just keep it moving. Yep, I heard it. Yep. You know what? I went to the grocery store and there wasn't no food on the shelf. That's no problem because I already got food in the refrigerator. I ain't starving. I got stuff I don't want to eat, but I have to eat it if I have to eat it. Oh, I'm not broke. I got money. You just got to keep it moving because fear will paralyze you and stop you. You go to the grocery store, y'all know. I'm going to tell you what happened to me. What happened to me is I was at Home Depot. And I was just talking to a brother, and we were just talking everything, and then some guy came up, and he was saying, do you all have any more toilet paper? And he said, man, we're out of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, anything that does with killing germs, we're out of all of that. And so we got to engage, and we started talking about God and how he's our shelter and all of that. And then all of a sudden, the guy went down there. He went down there, and there was a pallet. They just put out of toilet paper, 2 pallets. And when I was walking to go and pay for something else that I had, I seen him, and he was putting all these rolls in his basket. He was putting all these rolls in his basket. And I'm looking at him, and so I said, I'm going to go get me a basket. I went and got me a basket, and I was putting all these rolls in my basket. And I'm asking myself, why am I putting these in my basket? I'm asking myself, why am I getting toilet paper? I get hand sanitizer, but I didn't connect hand sanitizer with toilet paper in my mind, but I just kept putting it in there. My wife opened up the trunk the other day because it's still in the trunk. And I'm not giving y'all my address, but it's still in the trunk. And she opened it up and looked and see all this toilet paper. It's like, I didn't know why I was doing it. And then later on, I found out, it's because there's a shortage of it. Not that I need it, because I had already had boxes of toilet paper at home. Not that I need it. But I'm just saying, in my case, how you can get caught up in stuff and don't even know why you're doing what you're doing. But you're doing it because everybody else is doing it. Went to the grocery store, and of course, y'all know what my favorite store is. Amen, Kroger's. I went there, I said, I'm going to go and get me a loaf of bread. Walked in there, all of the bread was gone. I looked at the meat, all the meat was gone. I looked at something else, and all of it's gone, all the paper, it's like this store. Then I talked to the guy, he said, this store had never been like that. And so I'm looking at all this stuff, but I'm saying to myself, I'm not going to be moved. I'm just going to keep it moving. Nope, I did not leave Kroger's and then go across town looking for some meat. Nope, I didn't have to go, to other places looking for toilet paper because I had a lot. I had more than I needed. I'm just saying, these things happen, but if we're not careful, we will get caught in it and don't know all of the details of the why we're doing what we're doing. Look at your neighbor, tell him one more time, keep it moving. Yeah, just keep it moving. It says here in verse number 5, I think I'm at verse number 5. It says, you will not dread the terror that haunts at night, or enemy arrows that fly in the day, or the plagues that lurk in darkness, or the disasters that wreak havoc at noon. 1,000 may fall on your left, 10,000 may die at your right, but those horrors won't come near you. It will, and it is happening, but when you trust God, you want to use your faith to say that it's not going to come to me. It exists, but it's just not going to exist here. It's not going to exist in my home. We're going to do what we have to do. We're going to keep it moving, and we're going to trust God that his word is true, that it won't happen in my house. Won't happen with my family. David is talking about an experience. He's not talking about theoretically, this is what I believe is going to happen. I'm using my faith for it to happen. No, he experiences, and I'm going to show you. I don't know if I'll see if I can show you today. Listen to what it says. It says, "For you made the eternal your refuge, the Most High your only home. No evil will come to you. Plagues will be turned away at your door." That's verse number 10 in this version. Plagues will be turned away at your door. Okay? And this is what we believe. We believe that God will have angels at our disposal during this season of our lives. They are sent forth to be ministers of everybody who is an heir of salvation. We are all heirs. Notice this, that the plague will come near, but will be turned away. Well, got to be somebody who's going to turn it away. And it has to be somebody who sees it, because we can't see it, in order for it to be turned away. And so I believe that God will make sure that the plague gets turned away from our door and don't come in our house. When you get home, plead the blood. Get that oil and anoint those knobs, those doorposts, whatever you want to call it. You get in your car, get some of that oil out. Anoint those handles on that door. Get you some hand sanitizer and keep it in your car. We're going to cover all these bases, because we got to keep it moving, saints. We got to keep it moving. We got to keep using our faith, and we cannot let fear short-circuit our faith, because there's more things that we need besides protection from a virus. We need more things. We got children, we got grandchildren, we got folks that need our prayers and our help and our faith. So we can't let this cause us to not use our faith and short-circuit us in our belief. Verse number 11. "He will command his heavenly messengers to guard you." Isn't that what I just said? "To keep you safe in every way. They will hold you up in their hands so that you will not crash, fall, or even glaze your feet or your foot on a stone." Let me go over here. Go to verse number 14. It says, "Because he clings to me in love." Now, he's now talking about us, that we are going to cling to God in love. He says, "Because he clings to me in love," this is what God says, "I will rescue him from harm. I will set him above danger, above danger, above danger." Amen. Just look at somebody and tell them we are going to be above danger. Which means that the danger is below us. Which means we're not in that environment. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. The environment does exist, but we're not in that environment. Okay, half of y'all not in the environment then. Is what you believe. He says that I will set him above danger because he has known me by name. That's us. He will call on me and I will answer. This is what God's saying, that we will call and he would answer. I'll be with him through hard times. I'll rescue him and grant him honor. I'll reward him with many good years on this earth and let him witness my salvation. What he's saying is that we're going to keep living. Let the recession come, we're going to keep living. Let the virus come, we're going to keep living. Let trouble come, we're going to keep living. Let danger come, we're going to keep living. Let something that we don't know nothing about, never experienced in our lifetime, let it come too, because we're going to keep living, because God is our refuge. God is our shelter. God is the one who protects us. God is the one that we have our trust in. God is the one who said, I will deliver you when harm comes. God is the one that said, I'm going to set you above the danger. God is the one who said, I will bring you through it, and when you come out, you will be better than what you were before you went in it. Whether we realize it or not, God is purifying our faith. Right now, during this season, he's purifying what we believe. We had some impurities in our heart and didn't know they were there. But God said, I'm going to purge them through the system. And when they come out, they're going to come out like pure gold. Look at your neighbor and tell him he's talking about me. Amen. I'm coming out with pure gold. I'm going to come out with faith that's going to be stronger. I'm going to do more, amen, with my faith. More miracles are going to show up. More projects are going to be completed. More folks are going to be healed. More folks are going to be delivered because my faith is mounting up in the midst of this kind of situation. And so God says, everyone who does what I previously said, I'm going to reward you. I'm going to reward you if you operate in faith and not in fear.
Join our live stream Sundays at 11 a.m., Thursdays at 7 p.m. Visit www.dlgc.org.